Sundae Swap has been delayed. Yes, I'm disappointed as well, but hey, I always try to see the positive aspects in everything, and a delayed launch is better than a launch that wasn't fully thought through. Plus, the team apparently had a meeting with Charles Hoskinson himself. What's up? My name is Caroline, and this is Wealth in Progress, where you'll learn how to make passive income with cryptocurrencies. In this video, I'll talk about the latest Sundae Swap news and what might happen in the future. Plus, I'll go over some concerns and questions that you asked in the comments. The Sundae Swap team have released the latest news in a Medium article. So this is on their website, and then if you click on latest news, you get to that Medium article. I'll leave it in the descriptions down below so you can check it out for yourself. I think it's a very good description of what's going on, so I'll just go over that quickly. So first of all, they describe in here that the ISO is unfortunately delayed, and we don't know till what time that is delayed right now. They just say the updated timeline will be shared on June 1st. So that's pretty disappointing, honestly, because if they only release the updated timeline on June 1st, that means it can take quite a while until they will finally launch their ISO. That is unfortunate, but well, it is what it is. At least they're transparent and they share everything that they know right now. They also mention later down in the article that there will be a new date available on June 1st, but we'll have to be a little patient until that point of time. Now further down, they explain why they're delaying their ISO. So I'll first go over the second point, because this has been raised in the comments as a concern, and that's that thought that has been spreading on their Twitter account, I think also in their Discord, and that was because they announced on their Twitter account that they're collaborating with the Cardanians to operate their pool and to distribute the ISO. Now, many people have raised concerns because operating a pool is apparently something relatively simple. I don't know, frankly, because I've never run a pool. I can imagine that it's still quite technical, but in comparison to running a decentralized exchange, it should be relatively simple. And that's why people have been concerned, saying if they can't even run a staking pool themselves, how will they be able to run a decentralized exchange? So in here, they're clarifying what's going on. They say, to that second concern, we want to clarify that we were and still are, should we decide to change the operations back, prepared to launch the stake pool ourselves. Then they go on, and even had one running on the testnet before we announced the ISO under the ticker SNS. So they had that testnet running already. I'm not sure if it's still live, I've never checked it, but they had that running and apparently that worked fine. So now the important part comes next. When that third party approached us, so that's the Cardanians, we saw it as a great opportunity to offload the small operational burden and invite a reliable stake pool operator from the community into the process as a watchdog and whistleblower. I'm not quite sure what they mean by the last part saying whistleblower. I mean, watchdog, I understand they would just make sure that everything running smoothly. I'm not sure what they mean by whistleblower, maybe just announcing news or something like that. I'm not sure about that. But the first part is very important, and that to me sounds more like hiring an administrative assistant, like a virtual assistant, and giving that person or just the small admin stuff. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like, okay, we're hiring someone who's taking care of the admin stuff so we can focus on the bigger picture and all the technical complicated things. That's what it sounds like to me, and in my opinion, that's nothing to be worried about. I think it's totally normal to hire help, especially for small admin stuff. You don't want to have developers working on small admin stuff that an assistant or someone who can be much faster and efficient with that can do as well. That's my opinion. I'm not sure if this is the full picture. This is what they're saying here, and I can just make my own opinion off of what I'm reading here. So in my opinion, it really doesn't sound like there's something to be worried about. Now, the second reason why they're delaying their ISO, and they actually say this is the first reason, they circle back to that. They say, this brings us to the first point of concern mentioned above. There is a confusion around how the proceeds from the ISO will be used, and we don't have the foundational materials in place to explain the project you were getting involved in. With the respect we hold for our sources of these criticisms, we ultimately made the decision to take a step back, tighten our belts, get our ducks in a row, and reapproach the ISO from a solid footing. Okay, so I find that a bit surprising because what I understand is that they didn't really know what to do with the funds that they would raise. So they would raise funds with the ISO and then they didn't really know what to do with that. I find that a bit surprising, although they put it that way that they just didn't have the material to present it. So they just say in the sense of, we didn't have the PowerPoint ready to present it to you. So I'm not sure which is true. It could be either way. However, I have huge respect for them for being so transparent. I think it's much better for a project or a team to be this transparent, to admit mistakes and maybe failures, and to then be transparent and open and say, okay, we've made a mistake, we've done something wrong, we now take a step back and make sure everything runs smoothly. Now let's look at what happens next for Sundae Swap. So in the latest part of this article, they're announcing that they will run an AMA with the founders. So the founders will run an AMA, and that's today, May 25th at 6 p.m. PT, 9 p.m. ET. That will run on their Discord channel. So I have that open in here. Okay, that's perfect. That's what it looks like. So if you want to learn more about what's happening next for Sundae Swap, then this would be a good chance to ask your questions or to just follow the AMA. Other than that, they also mentioned that they're expanding their leadership team. So I think this is great news, especially for you guys who were concerned about the FUD, because this shows that they're willing to get help, and they're probably going to get help to run the decentralized exchange smoothly as well. So there's always the opportunity to add people to a team, and I'm sure they will add the right people to run that exchange smoothly. And last but not least, they also announced that they will release a series of white paper to share more about the technical details and aspects of the platform that they're building currently. Another really good step, I think. It shows more transparency, it shows that they're willing to share everything with the community, and that should be coming out within the next coming week. Now, one more interesting thing. I found on their Twitter and also in their Discord channel that they apparently had a meeting with Charles Hoskinson. So I think Charles Hoskinson tweeted it himself as well. And then so one person asks here that he reached out for a meeting, and they answered, we met with him today. So that doesn't say much, of course, but they have confirmed it here. Now my guess is that maybe Charles pointed some things out that aren't running as smoothly as he is hoping for this project to be. So maybe this is the core reason for the delay. I'm not sure. They might answer that in the AMA later today. So if you're curious about what's going on, maybe the AMA will give you the answers. So I'm not sure if it's true, but this would sound reasonable and valuable to me. And also I think it's a good sign if they have a meeting with Charles himself. That shows that both parties are interested in running a smooth project and in bringing it out successfully, and maybe that just takes some more time. Alright, so these are today's news for Sundae Swap. I know it's disappointing, I'm disappointed as well, but that's just how it is in crypto. I mentioned it in one of my last videos. It is totally possible that projects get postponed. I even said it for Sundae Swap, that you should look out for it, but it's possible that it gets postponed, and that's what happened now. Overall, I prefer that they're transparent and that they try to get their ducks in a row first and only then really launch the project, even though I would have preferred it to have the announcement a bit earlier for the postponement, but it is what it is. It's better that way than messing things up. If you have any other questions or concerns or any other topics or projects that you would like me to cover or have questions about, leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you like this video, hit the like button down below, share with your friends, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!